Hi there folks, welcome back to the Ever and Andy Fishing Channel. I hope you're doing really well. It is the first day of July and it is the first time today that I'll have thrown a lure since, oh crikey, the last day of February. It's probably the longest I've gone without doing any lure fishing in the last few years, and it's just down to a mixture of conditions, the lockdown, being really busy with work after that. But I thought I'd come down, I've got a few hours spare, come down and fish a little stretch of the Trent. I'm hoping to find a few perch. I thought it'd be funny to bring you guys along for the ride because I haven't done this for a while. I'm going to be a little bit rusty. Before I start, really like you to subscribe to the channel, particularly subscribe because IB has been cranking out some vlogs on her own. She's doing really cool stuff, having to not only learn how to film it but then how to edit it pretty quickly, and she's doing really well. So be sure to check out some of IB's solo videos. They're actually in a playlist you'll find on the channel, so subscribe for that and subscribe for me thrashing the water to an absolute foam for the next few hours here. I'm going to try and keep it really simple. I've only bought one bag with me, a few hard baits, a few soft baits, plenty of jig heads because it's a bit of a tackle graveyard on here. And I'm just going to try and take it a little bit easy, to be honest. Nothing too technical, maybe a little bit of weedless chebbing with some creature baits, but mostly dragging shads and hard baits I think is going to be the go-to. It's a beautiful day, it's really nice conditions. It's forecast good for the next few hours, so I'm pretty hopeful that the river should be in good nick. We should find some fish, but there's only one way to find out. Let's go and check it out. So I did say in that intro that the weather's pretty nice, and in the 5 minutes it's taken me to walk downstream a bit, it started raining. It pretty much sums up my Trent lure fishing experience so far. Gone in with a little jig head just to start with, and we'll just try and bounce this around the edges. 7.5 gram bait, 7 gram head. It's probably a wee bit light for the main channel of the river, but I think just down the sides it'll do. The rod's are 5 to 21, it's an 8'3", so it's a little bit longer. I like that on the river, just gives you a little bit more reach. I'm on 013 braid, which I think is about 13-14 pound. Just gives me a chance for hook pike, and I have got a little wire trace on because there are pike through here. And I think at this time of year they should be fired up enough that the perch shouldn't be too picky about that wire. Always searching the edges first. Good areas around these trees. Lots of ambush spots and hidey holes around here. First snag of the day. Oh, it's a good one as well. That's taken what? 3 casts? 4 casts? I lose so much kit when I come here. Yeah, gone. Okay, so change straight over to a weedless rig. Nobody got time for losing all that kit. So I'm on a 6 gram Cheb. It's a bit lighter than perhaps I'd like, but I'm only fishing the edges at the moment. And that little 3D bleak. And hopefully, whatever that big snag is down there, this gets over it. Ready, change of tactics time, but I need my bag and I've left it up there. So I've dropped the soft plastic for the moment for a little crankbait, little Goby crank, 50mm, about 7 grams. It's quite a deep diver, it'll go down to about 4 or 5 feet, so got a good chance of scratching the bottom, particularly a little bit further across the river. See if we can maybe pick up a perch. There's some chub through here. Worth a go. Especially this time of year. It's definitely crankbait time. That is all that's left in the box, and the rest of it is, oh, freaking everywhere. Well, nothing from that first swim, and I did say at the very start I'd be a bit rusty, just a little bit more rusty than I realised. So I moved upstream a little bit. I've got a nice seam in front of me here. It's not particularly deep. I think perhaps this 10 gram head's going to be a bit too much here. Possibly a good spot for the crankbait. Ready, let's try this. Oh, fish, there we go. There's a fish. Pike, I reckon. Yeah, pike. Ooh, crikey, smash that. Oh, he's kiting pretty hard down this inside. Come on, away from there. Come on. It's right down this inside, right in amongst these reeds. Oh, he's out. He's out. You ready? Okay. You gonna come in? Whoa! Not just yet. Whew. Strong fish. Way. That'll do now, buddy. It's very impressive. In you come. Yeah, there we go. Well, that was unexpected. That came out of absolutely nowhere. As you guys have seen, I've had a pretty shocking start, but he's just made it a lot more interesting. Beautiful river pike, not huge, really powerful, very stocky. We'll get him back. Hopefully, it's going to be a better rest of the day than it was start to the day. Let's get you facing the right way, buddy. Nice, easy release. There we go. Awesome, fantastic. Well, that's pretty cool because it kind of vindicates two things. First off, the use of the crankbait. The shad had gone over that area before and it hadn't eaten it, so the vibration of that crankbait has clearly fired that fish up a little bit. Huge hit. I was honestly expecting a slightly bigger fish than that, especially after the fight, but I'll take anything I can get given the start that I've had. The second thing that's kind of vindicated is the use of that very fine wire trace. Now, make no mistake about it, if I hadn't have had wire on, if I'd have been fishing flora at that point, there's no way I'd have landed that fish because it was a long way down. I had to go in with a forceps. So again, this time of year, summer, fired up pike, if you're going to be throwing stuff like this, you're going to have to use wire. There's no two ways about it. You can't avoid it. In a river like this where you've got big populations of pike and perch, definitely use a fine wire trace, particularly with stuff like crankbaits. It will draw those pike in. As it goes, I've only had 3 or 4 casts in this area, so I want to keep throwing this crankbait a little bit. There could be more than one fish in this area. I've got a nice big seam, nice area just behind me to aim at. I'm pretty hungry for a few more fish, I'm not going to lie. Getting a wee bit worried about the weather. It wasn't due to kind of crash in and start raining until possibly about 2 o'clock. But it looks pretty bleak. It's only 10:30 at the moment. It looks pretty bleak already. I don't think it's going to hold much longer. Once it starts raining, obviously with all the cameras and electronics and all that stuff, there's not a whole lot I can do. So keeping an eye on what's happening up above at the moment, but yeah, a little bit concerned about what happens with this one. Right, so with my kind of concern about that weather, I've just gone for a bit of a move. I've just spooked a fish right below me. Crikey. I don't know if you can see the mud there. Yeah, I decided that I'd cover a bit more ground. So jumped in the car and I've just moved upstream slightly. There's a bridge above me with a weir. Oh crikey, first cast. First cast, jeez. Oh, there's perch here. There's perch here. There's one, got him. Oh no. Wow, okay. Well, that was an interesting start. Jeez. We found him. Right, stay tight on that now. Oh, there we go. Right, I don't think that one's a perch. I think that's another pike, and he's taken off something rotten. Is he still on? Wow. Yeah, that's no perch. I wish it was. Jeez. Incredible power. Pretty sure this is going to be a pike. Yeah, it is. Okay, not a massive one, they're just so fired up at the moment. I mean, that drag's pretty tight. Not a huge fish. Jeez, they've got some energy. Whew. Try and get him in as quickly as possible. Go on, buddy, that'll do. That'll do. In you come. Nice fish. Yeah, there's another one in the net. Good stuff. So fish number 2 comes immediately after the move. He's a really lively fish. I don't want to keep him out too long because he's just given me a fair amount of hell on the unhooking that. Another jack, absolutely smashed it, but I'm hoping there's more perch there. So let's get this one back. There he goes. Grumpy. Grumpy fish. Wow, well that all happened very quickly. Definitely wasn't the fish I had to take from first. The first take was 100% a perch. And I just wonder if actually hooking that pike might have been the worst possible thing that could have happened here, because he'll have upset the entire area of the river. It was a hell of a fight. It was perhaps not the fight I needed at that moment. So I'm only using small baits here. I'm only using 7cm baits. I'm not targeting these pike. In truth, I have held off fishing the river a little bit while it was very warm. I didn't want to fish it while it was super hot. We've had some rain. It's been pretty cool for the last week or so. So these fish will be absolutely fine. I'm positive about that. Oh, there's a fish. That feels more like a perch. Yay, target species. Finally found a perch. There we go. Finally. So maybe not the specimen we're hoping for, but the target species at the very least. Ooh, let's get him back. There you go, buddy. Righty, up the inside edge. That was interesting. That took about 2 seconds. There is a little bit of a seam and a slack down here, so it could well be there's a few perch held up in here. These are clearly pretty fired up fish. I may well put that crankbait back on, I think. Oh, tiny little guy. Oh, there he goes. I'm counting that one because I touched the leader. Couple more casts for this shad. If we don't start getting a bit more interest, I'm quite keen on trying that crankbait. Yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, crankbait back on. A little bit of vibration, bit of colour, bit of movement. Worth a look. I'm getting increasingly concerned about this weather. That wind's getting up a little bit and it's starting to look a bit bleak. Ooh, there's a fish. It's only another small one. Just on that back treble, perfect. There we go. So I was a couple of casts away from taking that off, but actually, I think I might leave it on for a few more minutes now. Couple more chucks on this, then it might be time for just a different sort of presentation. Perhaps a little weedless cheb, that 3D bleak. I like that thing, it works. It means you can pop it around the weed beds as well without getting hung up, and it is pretty weedy here. Yeah, I think that's the game. There we go, little weedless 3D bleak, still covered in sand from where I dropped it on the floor this morning. Nicely done, Andy, you're awesome. Fish this a little bit slower because I haven't got to worry about it getting snagged. Slightly slower presentation might just separate out bigger fish for me. That's the hope anyway. The mayfly just drifted past me. Where's my fly rod? Right, I think I need to move on to the next spot at the end of this drift because it has just gone very, very dark. The wind has changed direction. I reckon it's about to whack it down. Uh-oh, here's that weather. I think I might have just run out of time here. Couple of casts, but as I say, I don't want to put the filming stuff at risk. None of it's waterproof. Yeah, this is getting just a bit heavier than I'm comfortable with now. I think this might be it. One last cast. Oh, fish. Wow. Jeez. Not sure what this is. Haven't seen it yet. Oh, it's a nice perch. It's a nice perch. Let's just dial that drag down a bit. Literally one last cast. It's a good perch. Yeah, nice perch. No, none of that. None of that. Stay away from there as well. I've just realised I've still got the unhooking mat in the net. That's not going to make netting it any easier. Oh no, he's off. Oh, just because of the unhooking mat. Andy. Rookie. Ah, no. That was an easy 2. That was a belter. Get that freaking unhooking mat out of the net, you idiot. That was the fish I've been after all day. Oh, I could scream. I could absolutely scream right now. When the rain's actually just backed off a little bit, I might get a few more minutes out of this. I thought we were about done there. That rain's just kind of drifted away for the time being. It's not ideal conditions, don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of facing myself so the wind's coming over my shoulder, protecting the GoPro a little bit. There's a fish. I don't think it's as big as the last one. Yeah, not as big as the last one. Oh. It's in the net. Definitely not the size of the previous fish, but the first one I've had to put the net under. There we go. Nice fish. There's a few down there. Good. I just hope I haven't blown my chance of one of those real nice ones. Ooh, fish. Oh, it's a pike. That's a pike. He's off. Yeah, don't mind that too much. Here comes the rain again. Fish. There we go. There we go. They're still out there. Don't think this is a huge one. Yeah, a little rattler rather than those big head shakes like the big one earlier. Slip the net under him. Hey. Yeah, no monster. Good attitude, look at that. Dorsal fin straight up. But I still reckon there's another biggie down there for me. Fish. Again, I think that's a little rattler. Let's pull back a little bit more than the last one, but you get a sense for it with those smaller perch, don't you? You can feel the tail rattling away. I think this is another one about the same size as the others, about the same. I think I'll swing him in. Just about a swinger, that one, only just. Upside down perch. Try that again. Oi. There we go. Just seen a pike right below me, right in on the edge. Might drop this in front of him, see what he does with it. Oh, fish. Nah, no matter in weed actually. Yeah, pike's still there. This will be interesting, so I'll be able to see the whole thing. Oh, straight on it. Got it. Oh. He smashed it. With it being weedless, I think I was always going to be struggling with the hook upon that one. That was cool. I think I'll perhaps just have another minute or two with this Cheb rig. I'm perhaps going to switch over to a regular jig head. I feel like I'm getting quite a lot of touches that I'm not converting. Fish might just be a little bit cagey. I've had a few fish out of here now, so just wonder if by switching to a regular jig head, it might cost me a couple of lures, but if it converts a couple of If it converts a couple of takes into fish, then I think I'd take that. Could also go a little bit heavier as well. It'd give me some scope to perhaps pop a few casts a bit further out. That weather system seems to have drifted away just for the time being. Wind's dropped. Let's try that. Yeah, let's try that jig head. The box was really nicely organised when I got here, but obviously after I dropped everything, I now have no idea where all the heads are. That's a 5. That's a 5. That's a 4. I'm looking for a 7 or a 7.5, I reckon. 7. There we go, that'll do. In terms of baits, little perch coloured cannibal shad to start with. There we go, let's give that a bash. That pike did just have a little bit of a chomp on the wire trace. The wire trace is a little bit of a mess compared to how it was earlier, so if we're not getting takes I may well change that as well. Looks nice now that wind's dropped, I can hold the line up again. A lot more sensitive if I can keep that braid out of the water. Ooh, don't think it's a big one again. Slightly longer cast. Just kind of donking it around and something whops it. I think this is a very small one actually. About the same size as the rest. Just came in a wee bit easier. He's just about a swing in her, I reckon. Borderline. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Still waiting for that second chance on a biggie. Do you know what? I think I'm going to change that trace. I just don't like that. That's really annoying me. So I think I'm going to change the whole trace. Righty, fresh trace. New trace, new me. Where are those perch? Where's that 3-pounder? Nice long cast along those flow lines. Ooh, don't know if that was the jig head just touching down actually. There's a fish. That might be a slightly better one. It only feels a little bit bigger than the last few. It could just be because it was in that flow. Ah, no, probably is a little bit bigger than the last few. There we go. What do we got? I think the hook's falling out in the net. Yep, there we go. Hopefully you guys got a reasonable view of him. That's a nice fish. Get in there. That's a bit more like it. So I think this is pretty much the last spot of the day. Nice big back eddy just down from where this bridge is. Make sure you guys can see something. I'm going to go crankbait first in here just because it's what I've got on. Just through this eddy. I know there's a lot of snags and stuff in here. It's a bit of a graveyard. Oh, little perch. First cast. Hello. Hello. That's a start. There he is. Just a little guy. I'll do as a start though. Let's get you back. Right, maybe the crankbait's the way. We might just have another little weather system dropping in here. It's all gone a little bit bleak above my head again. I think a couple more casts with this. I'll get that slightly heavier jig head back on. Maybe we can just tease one more out before we get wet. Yeah, jig head time. My worry is, I know what's coming here. This has got snags written all over it. Oh, there's a fish. There's a fish. Feels like another one of those kind of medium-sized perch. Yeah. He's probably just about a swinger in her. Just, yeah, he's right on the edge. Nice fish. Nice fish. There we go. Back you go, buddy. Couple more of those would be nice. Another fish, wow, that's a slightly better one. Yeah, maybe slightly bigger, he just went a bit more mental when I first hooked it. Possibly get the net under him. No, it's not that much bigger actually. Oh, he's off, right at the net. Right, like most anglers, I can't resist a quick look under a bridge. And actually, I had a quick look under this bridge, and it looked like there were a couple of chub knocking around. I can't see them anymore, but I'm just going to give this crankbait a little swing, see if I can pick one of them up. No, okay. Might even let this float down a little bit further towards the tree, actually. Ooh, there we go. I think that's a pike. Yeah, it's a pike, it's not a chub. Not the one we were after, but we'll take it. It's a fairly long way down to landing. Ooh, crikey, some fast water as well. Oh, I really thought it was going to be that chub then. Geez, fast water. Fast water. It's quite difficult to get this fish anywhere near me, actually. Try and get him up this inside where it's a bit slower. Come on, you got to come this way, buddy. There he is. Yay, in the net. In the net. Always time for one last cast. So I'm not going to take him back up, obviously, because it's quite a long way up. Just give him a quick lift here, little jackadoodle. Strong fish in that current. Let's make sure he goes back well. Oh yeah, it's absolutely flown back. Do you know what? I think actually that last pike is going to be a really good place to finish this one. I've fished 10 till 2, which is exactly what I came out to do. I just wanted to do 3 or 4 hours. In truth, in terms of the way the day's gone, I'm pretty happy with it. It wasn't necessarily about catching the biggest fish I possibly could today. It was more about getting back into it. This really is the first time I've thrown a lure rod in 4 months. So yeah, in terms of the amount of fish I've caught and stuff like that, different techniques I've caught on the crankbait, on the weedless rig, took a couple of different jigs. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's gone quite well. Obviously, I would have loved to have got the net under that big perch. I mean, that's why I was here. I really wanted to chance my arm against one of those big perch, but it wasn't to be. And in terms of figuring out, you know, am I rusty? Is there stuff I need to work on? Technically, probably not. I actually think I'm pretty well. But clearly, I wasn't quite on my game, because if I was a little bit sharper, I would have approached that situation differently. I would have had the net ready, the unhooking mat wouldn't have been in the net, and I'd have been ready, because it wasn't rocket science to look at that situation and say, I'm going to need the net extended here. So real lesson there for me. It's really important you learn these lessons. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to learn them the hard way, but the reality is, as an experienced angler, I should have looked at that and gone, I need to extend the net before I start fishing. And I didn't, and it cost me the coolest fish of the day. But that's how it goes. Let us know if you want to see more lure fishing content. I know it's been a wee while, as I explained at the start of the video. We just haven't had a chance because of all the stuff that's gone on in 2020. It's been difficult, but I'm hoping that as the summer goes on and we get towards autumn, temperatures start to cool a little bit, we'll start to do a little bit more lure fishing, maybe even get IB out on the pike and the perch. Thank you very much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you give it a like, that'd be really cool. I've literally shed blood for you guys. I've got my own blood all over me from unhooking those pike. The pike are absolutely fine. I've lost about a pint. Drop us a comment, let us know what you thought. Please subscribe to the channel. The channel's growing really well now. I'm really proud of it. IB's doing really well. She's out filming her own stuff, so if you keep subscribed to the channel, you'll get notifications when all the new videos are coming out. Other than that, all I need to say is thank you very much. Take care, and we'll see you very soon. Take care, folks. Bye bye.